we have Freddie J, TikTok sensation, with us. Freddie, thank you for joining the podcast. I really appreciate it. One of the most common questions that I get asked, and I'm sure you get asked all the time, is how much does a hair transplant cost?
It's a tough question to answer, but it's subjective. Depends on what your hair loss looks like right now, who's doing your hair transplant, because some doctors charge per grafts. They'll give you a price for a fixed amount of grafts. So really, ultimately, it depends on your situation and who you're actually seeing, and then from there, you just kind of go with what they charge.
And you went to Dr. Camacho in Colombia
Twice,
uh,
yeah.
twice. Take me through that. You live in New York, and somebody might be wondering, why did you travel all the way to Colombia to get a hair transplant? Why didn't you just choose someone in New York?
Right. Yeah, you know what? The first option was going to somebody in New York because that's most convenient, right? I would love to just drive and get my hair transplant
Right.
and then come home. Like that's best case scenario. But the second I started doing research, I'm like, there's no way I can afford this. I think I was 20, I think I was 25 when I got my first hair transplant, and I wasn't making like very okay money. Like I wasn't completely broke, but I definitely wasn't comfortable. So I'm like, damn, like how do I get a hair transplant? And I actually, through a friend of a friend, I learned that somebody that I kind of knew of went to Turkey. I'm like, all right, I've heard of it, never really gave it any ideas, looked into it. I'm like, okay, hair transplants, depending on where you go, it's probably a few grand. Um, but that flight, like, I don't like flying. And that flight was like, I could be wrong here, but I think it was like 9 hours. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, for you.
yeah, for me, I'm like, this is long, especially coming back home and I just got a hair transplant. Like, how do you comfortably do that? Because I'm somebody that would just I'd be panicked the entire time thinking someone's staring at me for 9 hours. So I was just looking online, joined this Facebook group, came across this one clinic that they were putting out work that almost looked like the guy didn't even lose his hair. This is different because I'm seeing a lot of the opposite. Like I'm just seeing ones that kind of stick out. So I reached out. They told me you're a candidate, got a price, and then
What was the exact moment that you realized, man, I gotta have a hair transplant? Like, because it's such a, you realize you're losing your hair.
mhm.
Then I'm sure, like many, you've probably tried all kinds of crazy stuff, like
Oh
rubbing
yeah.
onions on your head and, using garlic shampoo and all these
Mhm.
kinds of crazy home remedies, right? And then once you realize, okay, that's not working, at what point did you say, you know what, I'm just gonna get surgery?
Melvin, you know what's so funny is I've been asked this question before, and the answer is I saw a TikTok. It's crazy because now I post about it, right? Like now I'm
Yeah.
on the other side of things where I post the TikToks about my hair transplant. But I think it had to have been like early 2021, maybe late 2020. I saw this guy, he posted his before and after on TikTok. Mind blowing. Like I'm like, holy crap! Like it was on my mind getting the hair transplant, but committing to traveling there and paying for it, I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it. When I saw that TikTok, I'm like, oh shit! Like this is it. Like this is my sign to just
Yeah.
do it. And so I reached out, and it just felt right. You know what I mean? Like I stopped doubting doing it, and I just kind of went for it. Best decision I ever made.
You're coming from a new wave of guys who are researching things differently. I think it used to be, people would go on Google,
Right.
they would type something out, whatever the search engine shot at you, they would choose, like probably the
Mhm.
first two or three that showed up. But you went on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. That's a whole new, like
Yeah.
it's completely changed the landscape of how people get
Oh, for
information.
sure. Yeah, and I think getting, like, genuine information too and honest feedback, that's what TikTok's for. I feel like it's just putting yourself out there and just hoping somebody kind of is into what you're putting out, and that's what happened for me. I was on the pre-hair transplant, hating the way I looked side of things, and when I saw this guy just post it was a before and after. He didn't even explain anything. I just
Wow.
saw the after, and I'm like, "Okay, this is enough for
That's
me
it.
to at least start looking."
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the things that connect you to people the most, and being able to see that in real time gives it so much credibility, right? Because you know
Yeah.
this can't be fake. You're seeing the phase where it's like, "Oof." Perfect segue into my next question is like, was there a point in your hair transplant journey that you thought, "Ooh, I made a mistake?" Was there any time you saw that you looked in the mirror and you're like, "Damn, was this did I mess up? Was this a
Yeah.
good idea?"
Yes, I've had one moment like that, but shockingly enough, it wasn't during my first hair transplant. It was shortly after my second one. I got my first hair transplant and I had no intentions of posting about it online, but I think I was bored, and I'm like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
might as well just, start showing what it looks like." And it slowly grew from there, but I had no expectations. Like the whole recovery process and waiting to see how's it gonna look month by month, I just kind of let it rock. Like I don't know if it was because I was 25 and my frontal lobe like just didn't develop just yet, but I got my second hair transplant last year.
Yeah.
My crown was just a little thin, like the tiniest bit thin. I'm like, I might as well. Now I'm like, I'm making better money. Like I have the time. I can
Yeah.
go make a little trip out of it with my partner. And I knew what the process was going to look like because I've done it already.
Yeah.
When I hit that ugly duckling stage, like by month 3, I lost so much hair. Like I lost the hair that they just transplanted, but I was also losing my native hair. And I
Mhm.
think maybe some of the transplanted hair from the first procedure, not permanently, like it's just it's a normal
Shot gloss, yeah.
yeah, it's the shock loss, it's normal, but just seeing it happen again, I'm like, oh, I'm like, I'm looking like young Freddy, like bald Freddy. Like this is
Yeah,
scaring me now because I'm like, oh my
yeah.
God. I'm like, I can't even rely on my first hair transplant because that all fell out. Like I'm actually seeing myself as if I never got a hair transplant done.
Ooh, yeah,
And it was tough because I'm trying to be honest online, showing my experience getting a second hair transplant. So I'm trying not to buzz my head. Like I'm not trying to make it look better. I want people to see what it actually looks like. But actually doing that, I'm like, oh, I'm like, this is the like I had to wear a hat 24/7.
Oh,
I just felt so ugly. Oh my God.
it's interesting because when you first got it done, right, you had, like, no baseline. So,
No.
it was almost like, "Well, how worse can it get?" Like, I'm already unhappy with how my hair
Right.
looked. That phase just wasn't that impactful because you already weren't happy with how it looked, so
Right.
you didn't really mind it. Yeah.
First
Oh,
time
yeah.
around, I had no follower. I think I had like a few followers commenting, like, "Oh, who did you go
Yeah.
to?" But I didn't even hit 1,000 at that.
Oh, yeah, so that makes a big difference. So now you got, like, I don't know, 70 something thousand or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
close to 80. That's a big that's a big jump,
I
right?
have
So,
80K people watching me go
yeah, you
bald
have
again.
yeah, and then you're gonna get the comments like, "Oh, man, what a ripoff," or "Joke's on you,"
Yeah.
or just people who don't know the process are just gonna be like, "Wow, this guy looks terrible now."
No, exactly. And I did get those comments too. That's the worst part. I feel like it's interesting because my partner told me, "I'm shocked that you post online because this was like your biggest insecurity." And I told him, "You know what? Like I just kind of put myself out there and I think the fact that I'm hiding behind a screen actually helped me
Yeah.
and it allowed me to grow thicker skin. But when that happened and I started losing my hair after the second hair transplant, all those comments like were like punches to the gut. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I feel like I messed up. Like if I lost, I'm thinking I lost my hair permanently, even though I knew that wasn't the case. I'm like, what if
Yeah.
it doesn't come back? I'm like, what am I gonna do? Oh, it was rough.
Is there something that you wish you would have known before starting your hair transplant journey?
And I say this in all my videos that a hair transplant isn't doing anything for your hair loss. It's not stopping it. You need to do
Yeah.
something for your hair loss if you're still actively losing that hair because your hair transplant overall, and when I say overall, I mean the work that they did during the procedure and the hair that you had, if any, combined together as an overall result, that's not going to last. The hair transplanted hair might sit there and it might be unaffected by DHT, but if that native hair starts to go, like I don't know what I would look like. I think I would have just like a line of hair up here and then maybe an island, and then everything else would just be really thin or bald.
When people come on the forum and they say, "I want a hair transplant," and someone says, "Well, are you on medication?" And they'll be like, "Well, that's the whole reason why I want a hair transplant. So I don't have to get on this
Right.
medication." Right? They're thinking it's like a bypass for it. And then I like to give the analogy where like think of it like you're on a sinking boat, right? sure you want to get the water out of the boat, but there's a hole. If you keep trying to get buckets of water and you don't plug the hole, you're still going to
Exactly.
sink no matter what. Like,
Hmm.
doesn't matter how many buckets of water you keep, throwing at it, you're still going to end up sinking. So you got to plug the hole first and then get the buckets and get the
Exactly.
water out. That's kind of how you should approach surgery. Is like, all right, stop the root cause, then you can get into
Yeah. It's
surgery.
the most realistic approach, honestly. And I think it's the best one.
What is it that you do to stop hair loss? Like, what's your hair loss protocol?
The go-tos, I think for everyone really is finasteride and minoxidil. That's what I do. Finasteride and minoxidil, I've been on them for like I think 4 years now, maybe going on five. So it's been a while. But the one thing that I have to say about both of them is I should have started them sooner because I don't even think I wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you because I would still have my hair from
Yeah.
like before the hair transplants. So yeah.
So why didn't you start it sooner? Like, it was just something that,
I
were
think it
afraid
was
of?
I got it prescribed when I first started seeing my hair loss. Like I'm like, the thought of being on medication for the rest of my life really scared me because I'm in my early
Yeah.
20s and I'm not, I prided myself on not taking anything. I'm like, no, I feel great. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
anything. Like, I'm healthy. Not to say that hair loss is unhealthy, but I had no reliance on anything. And then when my doctor told me you need to take this if you want to keep your hair, but it's lifelong, that lifelong, I'm 24. I'm like 25.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this feels kind of weird. And then of course I hop on Google. Just want to learn a little bit more.
Yeah.
Horror stories. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm like, this that ruined it for me. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I tried it, convinced myself it ruined me. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm having libido problems. I'm having everything that I read on WebMD is happening to me.
Yeah.
So I stopped it. Hair started falling out. I tried the weird oils and creams. Nothing worked.
Yeah.
Then I finally just did it when I reached out to get a hair transplant, and the doctor told me you should really consider taking finasteride and minoxidil. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it and just be open minded. 4 years later, I've been fine.
So the second time you didn't get the same side effects, or did you get them, but like it went away after some time?
I think it was a nocebo effect, honestly,
Mhm.
because knowing who I am regularly, I'm a very anxious person. Like I'm just a very
Yeah.
introverted. I overthink everything. And that one thing just sent me mentally sent me spiraling. I'm telling
Right.
myself that I'm broken, like I need to stop taking this.
Yeah.
If I stop taking it, the side effects will never go away. They went away,
Yeah.
but I think it was all mental. I don't
Yeah.
even think it was because of the finasteride. I think just because my brain's works in crazy ways.
I did want to ask you, Freddie, what was your experience with friends and family and coworkers, when they realized that you were going to get a hair transplant? What did they say? Did you have anyone that said, "No, Freddie, don't do it"?
Oh, of course. They couldn't make my life, and already this was a tough decision, and they couldn't make my life any more easier, right? Like they were 50-50. I think a lot of my friends and family were supportive, but they were also questioning like why? Because to them nothing was wrong. Hair loss is normal, and to them Freddie looks great. He just lost his hair. But to tell myself that, like I couldn't convince myself that I felt the same. Like I was just looking in the mirror, just felt who the person I was looking back at just was not me. But I do want to say the one person that was actually supportive of it, like very much like, yes, go do it, was actually my dad. Like
Really?
I told I was shocked too. I'm like, whoa, pops. I'm like, you're actually like you're down for this. He's like, you know why? He's like, because you lost so much hair so quickly, and like he just remembers me like with thick. I had his hair. Like I'm
Yeah.
literally a copy and paste image of him. Deep down, I knew like this is something I need to address because I can't go on any further with this insecurity.
It's very similar to my situation. A lot of my friends afterwards told they actually felt sad for me.
Yeah.
I do different hairstyles to match different events, right? Like for a
Mhm.
wedding, you want to do more proper, more clean hairstyle. Shaving my head felt like a uniform that I would wear for the rest of my life. Like, imagine somebody tells you, Freddie, you're going to have to wear this uniform for the rest of your life. You can never wear shorts. You can never change your style up. You can never do anything. It's just going to be this one outfit forever.
The worst
That's
outfit.
Yeah, the worst outfit too. So
When it started happening, I had just graduated college, just got my first like big boy full-time job. Like now I'm
and
salaried. I'm like now I'm not
yeah,
working retail, like working hourly anymore. Now I have like benefits. And my hair started falling out. Like within the first few months of me starting that first job, I remember it was all over my desk and I would just have to wipe it. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, like this is weird.
yeah,
And then we did like a scavenger hunt at work. Somebody took a video of all of us running around and we're looking for like these Easter eggs. And there's a video of me. I have it somewhere in my phone. I'm crouching on the ground, like trying to get underneath the table, and I see my crown in the video. It got posted to Facebook. This is how I saw it.
oh.
I'm like, holy shit. Who is that?
You're like,
I'm like,
"Who's that old dude right there?"
I'm
And
pissed.
you look up, you're like, "Oh my god,
Like, oh my god,
it's
it's me.
me."
I'm surprised it's me, and I'm pissed now because I'm like, nobody told me. Like, how did I not notice this? I should have noticed because I saw all this hair on my desk, but I never realized it was getting that bad.
How has now that you have a solid following, you're known in the hair loss niche, have you been approached by any of these, like, I call them hair mills, the clinics that
Of
just
course.
basically
Yeah.
do 30 patients in a day and, technicians do everything and you're just a number. Have you been up and, they usually get they partner with like influencers and they pick them up in limousines and they take them
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Salt Bay and they do all kinds of stuff,
Always Salt Bay. They're always at Salt Bay.
yeah, they do the Salt Bay thing and they treat him like a king. Have you been approached by these types of clinics?
I have. It's funny you bring that up because I've seen that all over TikTok, and it's always with the same clinic. So I started to put the pieces together. I'm like,
Yeah,
something feels weird. I'm like, if because nobody's saying it, nobody's saying that they're affiliated with the clinic, but they're all their videos and the entire experience is very similar. But
yeah,
actually, a few months ago, I think they started off the headline by saying, "We're sorry that we couldn't give you a free hair transplant, but do you know anyone else who's interested in a free hair transplant and will post 2 reels, 5 TikToks monthly? Like, here's everything that you get in return, and here's a code for, like, I don't know, you get commission off of anyone who books through your link." And
yeah,
I'm like, "I didn't want a free hair transplant." Like, I'm like, "You guys are never on my list,"
yeah,
but very flattering that you thought you were, 'cause the work is okay. It's not bad, but it's not something that I would be happy with if I got it done myself.
yeah,
And it felt a little sketchy. Like I get it though. Like they just want to promote themselves, but I think it's the fact that influencers post online about it, but a lot of them don't. They don't disclose anything that they're affiliated. So I'm like, this just feels like just a little grimy. Like just say it
yeah.
because it's clear. You have literally have a link in your
Yeah, yeah.
bio.
The problem I have with these types of videos is that they make it seem almost like it's a vacation. Like the
Mhm.
surgery is an afterthought. It's like, "Oh, look, they picked me up in a limousine. What was for lunch? They took me to Salt Bay. They did the
Yeah.
little salt on the steak and they fed me it?" And then after, yeah, we did a consultation. They did just kind of drew where it would be.
Mhm.
And then maybe after that, it's like, now I got it done. See you in the next 6 months or so. It's just like
Yep.
very, yeah, it's glamorized and it's not realistic. It's not like really what a
Yeah.
person actually experiences, what a normal person would experience.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
if
I
you have
agree.
100,000 followers and they reach out to you, they're gonna do this, but they don't
Right.
do this for every patient. You think they pick up
No.
every patient in a limousine and take them to, Salt Bay? So that's kind of deceptive marketing in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like the raw, and I think that's really why you blew up is because you're sincere. This is the process of it,
Yeah. I
and
think you make a good point there because you're right. Like I've seen those videos and they're glamorized. They look like a trip that you go on if you were going to another country.
yeah,
But you're not like what does the swelling look like? Like what do you look like a
yeah,
month out? I want to see the nitty-gritty, like that ugly stuff. What am I gonna
yeah,
look like after 3 months? Go
yeah.
ahead.
How did it affect your social life? Like, we talked about how hair loss kind of affected you.
Yeah.
Your family saw you. Your dad kind of mentioned, well, you used to have really thick hair. Now it was gone pretty much in a year. Getting that back, how did that affect your social life?
I want to say it improved. Like I think socially everything started getting everything was more positive, but it was the same as what it was before I lost my hair. I think that's the best way I can say it. Like, it just kinda it felt like the same level of comfort and confidence that I had, because when I did lose it, I was down here. Like, I'm,
Yeah.
like, right here in college, right before I
Yeah.
got my first job, and then graduated, got my first job, and my went bald. Like, I was down there. It was tough. I remember because I don't even think I met my partner back when I was bald. So it was I
Oh,
was, like,
really?
I was dating at the time,
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, "Fuck," I'm like, "I have photos of me with hair." I'm like, "That's not honest." I'm like, "I can't do that." Like,
Yeah.
so I'm wearing hats. I'm only posting photos of myself with a hat on. I'm showing up to dates with hats, and I'm, like, just going through it. Like, I think I looked okay, but in my mind, I'm like, "Shit," like, they don't know that I'm bald. And then I met my partner, and he met me bald, and if anything, he was surprised that I wanted hair, because
Really?
he never knew that version of me who was, like, so into, like, styling it and for every occasion. And when I brought it up to him, he was hesitant. We were new, but he was like,
Mm.
"Are you sure? Like, is it safe? I don't think you need it." And I said to myself, "I feel like I need it." Like, I'm like, "This is comforting to hear for sure, but I feel like I need it."
Yeah.
And I mean, now he just got his first hair transplant, so clearly he was
Yeah, I
on
think
board for it.
I saw that video. It's funny you mentioned that because there's people that reach out to me and there's two different like desires for wanting a hair transplant, right? There's a desire that are based on external pressures, which is what I would say like, dating, people your perception of people, when you meet them, people will think, "Oh, this guy's bald, he's old," or whatever. These are just external elements. And there's the internal element, which is I'm not happy when I'm bald. I
Right.
feel more confident with hair. I want to look how I used to look. I want to
Yeah.
look like I did before I went bald. Like that's just my desire, my internal desire. Throughout my years of like talking to hundreds and hundreds of men, um, I've always found that those that have the external, like the external pressures, are not really good candidates because they're not necessarily unhappy. They're just more of like, well, this is what society wants from me.
Right.
So maybe I should just do it. Right. And I think that's the wrong outlook. Like if
Yeah.
this is what you feel, if being bald really doesn't bother you and it's just more you're only considering surgery because you think it's going to improve your dating life or you think that, maybe
Mhm.
people will perceive you better in a better way. I don't think you should get it done because you don't really need it. But if you have the internal desire, like it's within you that, hey, I really want to have my hair back. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
what anybody thinks. I don't care, my dating life is going good, whatever. Obviously, you did well, even being bald. But even so, even having a partner and finding somebody,
Right.
you still have that internal desire like I want to look how I used to look. Like I want
Yeah.
hair. That's really when you should consider it, I think.
I agree. I think it has to come from within.
Yeah.
Um, and you have to know that you want it, it was tough for me personally because like I said before, my partner was he was comforting. He's like,
Yeah.
I think you look great the way I met you. Like this, there's nothing's on fire. You look great. It almost made me feel like, do I actually need it? I'm like, maybe I do look fine. Because he thinks I look good. And I'm like, well, this buzz cut actually looks good in this photo. I'm like, well, maybe I don't need the hair transplant. But like deep down, I knew it. I'm like, it's been years of being insecure about this one thing. Like I can't convince myself within a matter of days. Like, you know what? I'm not insecure. Like
Yeah.
I don't need hair. No. In my situation, I think being bald is fine, but it's subjective. Some guys genuinely don't like it.
Yeah.
So do something about it. You could do anything. You could do the hair transplants. You could, I don't hop on finasteride, take natural supplements, whatever actually makes you feel comfortable. That's better than nothing.
So do you think like all of these things are more socially acceptable with the younger generation like the Gen Z, everybody who's on watching stuff on TikTok because obviously the way I'm on the opposite end
Right.
of millennials, right? I'm on the older version. I still remember like life without internet and life without social media and
Right.
watching cable TV. That's where I got all my
Uh-huh.
information. So like now these younger kids like nobody watches like cable TV. That's a thing of the
No.
past. I
Yeah.
don't even think people are really googling things, especially the
Right.
younger kids are not googling things. They're going to TikTok. Like, what does
Yeah.
TikTok say? Do
Yeah.
you think these stigmas are going to be pretty much gone like in about 10 to 15 years with this younger generation?
I don't know about 10 to 15, but I think they're way more open to it. If anything, I feel like a lot of my messages are from younger guys, like just trying to get the help that I wanted, like the exact same advice, which is not like I feel bad for them. I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that you're going bald at like
Yeah.
20 years old. Like I get it, it's
Yeah.
rough. But it makes me realize there's a lot more guys out there that are willing to at least ask for help and go and do something about it. I don't know if this was the case before, but if it was, it wasn't as obvious to me.
Do you think the niche is growing on TikTok? But obviously that's kind of your main go-to.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like the younger generation. It's kind of viewed it's like Facebook is like for baby
Yeah.
boomers and then TikTok is for like Gen Z,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
the younger social media app. Is the niche growing in your opinion?
I think so. If
Yeah.
anything, or maybe my algorithm is pushing out creators that are posting what I post, but I'm seeing it all the time. Like guys in Europe and Asia, all around the world getting hair transplants, posting about it, which I love. I'm like, they're competition, but at the end of the day,
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
I
good.
love it. I love to see it because they're doing what I'm doing. Like they're just being honest and they're sharing their experience, making other guys feel a little bit more okay about what they're going through.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think for me, when I first got my hair transplant, I was 28, and it was 2014. So, YouTube was still it was very popular, but there was nobody. There was like maybe a 2 or 3
Yeah.
guys documenting their hair transplants on YouTube. Literally,
Yeah.
out of the
And it's tough. It makes
entire
you want to like be quiet about it. Like, why am I going to publicize it so much if
yeah,
no one's
it
talking about it?
also yeah, it was like so it still made you feel kinda like, I wanna kinda hide myself," but
Yeah.
now if you go on YouTube, there's literally probably
So many.
hundreds
Yeah.
of guys who've documented their hair transplants and have channels, so I think that openness is going to really change things in the future, and even, like, my nephew's 18, he's a straight Gen Zer, and we were watching UFC, and he kinda commented, he was like, "Oh, man, that guy's gotta go to Turkey because he's losing his
They
hair,"
know the deal.
and I'm like, "You're 18 years old, how and full head of
Right.
hair, how do you even know anything about, like, going to Turkey for a hair transplant?" So it just kinda was a realization moment to me, was like, "Wow, these young kids, like, they're really attuned and they know
Yeah.
these things," where before, like, for me, if I was 18, I would have thought like, "Oh, a hair transplant? Like that old infomercial at 12 o'clock
Right.
at midnight,
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
the cheesy infomercial with the hair plugs, like, it was just
Right.
completely like
The perspective is so different now.
yeah, the
Yeah.
outlook was way,
Yeah.
way different. It was like a negative thing.
Yeah. It's just mainstream now, which I'm like, all
Yeah,
right, cool. I'm like, I love that. If you need it, do it. But do it
yeah.
wisely. Like, don't just hop on the bandwagon and go to some place because they're charging you, I don't know, like $1,500 for a hair transplant. Like, slow
That's
your roll
exactly
there, you know?
yeah. That's exactly why I'm doing this, it's like
Yeah.
I'm so happy that it's mainstream, people like John Cena just open up about like, "Yeah, I got a hair transplant," and
Mhm.
it's great to see because it's like, hey, it's not a bad thing,
Yeah.
it's you're not doing anything wrong. But it is very important that you kind of teach these younger kids, hey, Turkey is totally fine. There's some good doctors in Turkey, but there's some terrible ones. So you just
Yeah.
got to do your research, Don't just choose a place because you saw some guy on TikTok be picked up in a limousine and eating,
Going to Salt
steak.
Bay. Yeah,
Yeah, going to Salt
exactly.
Bay.
Yeah.
Look at the results. Like, what do the results look like?
And
Does
for everyone watching, this goes beyond Turkey. Like this is
Oh yeah,
there's great
everywhere.
doctors, there's crappy doctors anywhere you go. It's just a
Everywhere.
matter of
Absolutely.
filtering through all this chaos to find somebody that makes you feel at least secure.
Well, I want to respect your time, Freddie. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful that we did this podcast. I'm not sure. Do you have a YouTube account?
Don't. Yeah, I'm mostly on TikTok
TikTok?
and
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. So on Instagram, you're at Freddie J.
Instagram is underscore Freddy underscore J. And then
Okay.
TikTok, Freddy underscore J underscore. It's flip. I'm sure you can put it on the screen. Make life a little
Okay,
easier
I'll
for
I'll
everyone.
I'll do that. I'll
Yeah,
put it on the
for
screen.
sure. Of
Thank you so much. If anybody wants to
course.
reach out to you, they can, I'm sure, send you DMs,
Yeah.
and you're more than
Always happy
happy
to
to
help
help out.
for
All
sure.
right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Freddie. Take it
All
easy.
right. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.